Hi, I'm Steve McKnight. Stop by today to talk to you about real estate. There's lots of opinions in the market at the moment about what's going to happen to property prices. Agents are out there talking it up, whereas people, economists and that kind of thing, are talking about how bad it's going to be. So let's take a moment now and let's look at what happened to median house prices around the country. And I've done up a handy little slide for you and let's talk about it. First of all, the most expensive real estate in the country comes down to, wait for it, yes, it's Sydney, with median house prices for the March quarter, as reported by the Real Estate Institute of Australia, coming in at $554,000. Next down on the list we have Perth, $460,000, run through them. Canberra, $445,000. Melbourne, $432,500. Brisbane, $416,500. Adelaide, $362,100. And Hobart, $335,000. Apologies to people who live in Darwin, I couldn't fit you on the screen. What's interesting about those figures is, with the exception of Adelaide, most capital cities fell for that March quarter. Yes, annually they went up, some 20-25%, but the trend is now flat or down. But in and of itself, median house prices aren't really valuable. They're just bits of black ink on a screen. What we need to do is look at the trend and then match up the trend with our expectation. And what I've done for you on this slide is matched up the trend of median house prices with what's happening with rental vacancies and also rental increases. So let's do that right now. First of all, when it comes to rental increases, we find that Melbourne had a 22.5% increase on rents. That's year to March, as I understand it, reported by the ABS. Second, Sydney, 19.05%, Brisbane, 18.64%, and Perth, 6.25%. I haven't bothered putting any of the others on there, but you can do your research if you want. Now, when I look at these figures, what I find is that it's interesting that we have Melbourne down here at 432,500 with the biggest rental increases. And this might be a good time to talk about how property prices go up in Australia, because we've probably all heard that property prices double every 7 to 10 years, but that's a little bit misleading. What we find is that property prices go up in a hurry and then flatten off. And on the other hand, yields go down in a hurry and then flatten off and go up. And that's a bit tricky for people who haven't heard that before. But as yield goes down, price goes up because rents don't keep pace. And now we're in a situation pretty much around the country where rental returns are increasing, or the rental yield is going up because prices are flat but rents are going up. And so we're in this lag period whereby we've had prices flat, yields going up, and sooner or later buyers are going to come back in the market. Not at the moment, but the analogy I like to give is, imagine there's a cake in the oven, and this is the swelling cake of increased migration and speculators out there in the property market. It's not quite cooked yet, so if we took this property cake out of the oven now and tried to invest in it, it'd be gooey. But if we leave it in there a little bit longer, it'll cook up nicely. So generally speaking, what am I saying? I'm saying now's not the time to get into the market and do a long-term buy and hold speculative type deal. I wouldn't be getting in now because it looks like prices are going to go lower before they flatten out and go back up again. Now is a good time to get into the market though if you're a buyer, and you can get into quick turn real estate. Get in, make your profit and get out again. And the numbers here are supporting that, because you can still make some good money in real estate picking up properties whereby the rental supply is in demand. And what you can try and do is meet into that supply, because we always want to, in real estate, buy houses where there is ready supply or ready interest, demand if you like, waiting for us to pick up that product. So to give you an example, a deal that I purchased the other day was a block of land that we're going to build a 3-story office block on, ground floor, first floor, second floor. And the reason why I'm happy to do that deal in the current market is because there's a shortage of office supply in the area that I'm doing it for. Now, if in your area you need to find out what the shortage is, if it's in housing or student accommodation, I don't know, but that's where I think the best opportunities are in the current market. Again, I certainly wouldn't be doing a speculative long-term buy and hold. That said, here's what I think. First of all, it's a better time to buy than to sell. So if you're selling in the current market, you need to be very, very careful, because it is pretty soft out there. You need a good marketing campaign. The second thing I'd say is do whatever you can to improve your borrowing ability, because when a good deal hits the market, then you want to be in a position to buy it. And remember, because most of property, the purchase price is borrowed, if you can't borrow, you won't be able to get in. The third thing I say is keep increasing your cash reserves. Cash is king because it represents buying power and your ability to make a decision in a hurry. And the fourth thing I'd say is, without wanting to be a vulture, the best opportunities in the current market are deals where buyers are being forced to sell up. The stock market's down, people are getting margin calls, and they're selling property, sometimes on the sly, to get the cash to be able to settle on their other investments. And that's perhaps the final point to leave you with on this video recording, and that is, Don't forget that a lot of property in the market at the moment is being sold silently, and that means there won't be a board out the front and it won't be listed on realestate.com.au. It means that the vendor in this case has gone to the agent and says, look, I don't want my neighbours knowing about it, or the people in the area, my friends know that I have to sell this property, but I want to get rid of it quick, smart. So one thing you can do, a practical application from this newsletter, is to head off into the local real estate agent's office and ask them, do you have any properties currently listed at the moment where the vendor is looking to sell at a good price if I can give you a good offer? That said, I hope you've enjoyed this video recording. If you'd like to see more of them, drop us a line at feedback@PropertyInvesting.com. Let us know that you're interested, and then we'll go to the effort of making more of these videos. Steve McKnight saying bye-bye for now.